At what was being seen as India's toughest vote on the Ukraine crisis till date, India abstained once again at the UNGA on a vote moved by the US to suspend Russia from the UN Human Rights Council.
India has abstained on the resolution adopted in the General Assembly today. We do so for reasons of both substance and process. Since the inception of the Ukrainian conflict, India has stood for peace, dialogue and diplomacy. We believe that no solution can be arrived at by shedding blood and at the cost of innocent lives. If India has chosen any side, it is the side of peace, and it is for an immediate end to violence.
The vote went through as the US-led push garnered 93 votes in favor. China was among 24 countries that voted against it, while 58 countries, including India, abstained.
The result of the vote is as follows. In favor, 93. Against, 24. Abstentions, 58. Draft resolution A/ES-11/L4 is adopted.
Russia's suspension comes on the back of reports of gross and systematic violations and abuses of human rights by invading Russian troops in Ukraine. A two-thirds majority of voting members was needed to suspend Russia from the 47-member council. Abstentions do not count, but India explained why it had taken the route in the vote.
We continue to remain deeply concerned at the worsening situation and reiterate our call for end to all hostilities. When innocent human lives are at stake, diplomacy must prevail as the only viable option. Recent reports of civilian killings in Bucha are deeply disturbing. We have unequivocally condemned these killings and support the call for an independent investigation.
Soon after, the US confirmed it was ending all normal ties with Russia following its invasion of Ukraine. However, Russia said the decision to suspend it from the Human Rights Council is illegal and politically motivated. There is no let-up in the war in Ukraine that has now completed 43 days. And as Russia continues its aggression in Ukraine, the West is trying to isolate Russia, and the UNGA vote in the latest in that attempt.
As part of this administration's ongoing and urgent efforts with allies and partners to counter the Russian government's war of aggression in Ukraine and to stand up for the principles necessary to maintaining international peace and security. Together, we are sustaining and building on our support for Ukraine. Security, humanitarian, economic. Together, we're sustaining and building on pressure on the Kremlin and its enablers, including with unprecedented sanctions. Together, we're bolstering the defense of NATO itself, including by hardening our eastern flank. Just over the past 48 hours, I've had an opportunity to meet with my NATO counterparts. For the first time ever, foreign ministers from the United States Indo-Pacific allies, Australia, Japan, New Zealand, the Republic of Korea, participated as a group in a NATO ministerial. Ministers from Georgia, from Finland, from Sweden, and Ukraine also took part, as did the European Union's High Representative for Foreign Affairs and Security Policy, Josep Borrell. In addition, I met with my counterparts from the G7, the world's leading democratic economies. The participation of all of these allies and partners highlights the remarkably broad coalition of countries from around the world that are united in standing with Ukraine and against the Russian government's aggression. Countries that recognize Moscow isn't just attacking one country, but the entire international rules-based order.